Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Level M Diecast, doing something that we've really only done, I think, maybe once or twice on the channel before. But we're going to do this today. We're going to unbox 1/18 scale cars today. We're going to cover two brand new castings from Maisto for 2024. Brand spanking new castings that are pretty much polar opposites from each other. We're going to kick it off with this one. These are currently available from Sam's Club. You see, this is the Sam's Club exclusive packaging in blue. It says special edition on there. This is the first one we're going to take a look at, the Lamborghini Revuelto, however you want to pronounce that. There it is, the name right there. Again, just from Sam's Club, has the standard deets here on here, nothing fancy, pretty straightforward, nothing really to report. We'll just go ahead and get this guy out of here. So it does come with a little flap on the side here. Pop these open. They're not taped from Sam's Club or anything. These new generation 1/18 scales, they still come on bases, but the boxes are not reinforced. So the entire box section itself is just cardboard. So there's nothing to the box, just an empty box right there. Special edition. Get the box out of here. There is the model sitting on its plinth. This is the way that 1/18 scale Maistos have been for eternity, basically. There are a couple of screws here on the bottom. Does give you a little bit of information. Wow, this one actually comes with a tool. Look at that. This actually comes with a tool to open the doors. Sorry about that. So very, very interesting that this comes with a tool to open the doors. So let's get this off the base real quick. There are just a couple of screws, which is very standard fare. Pretty much every 1/18 scale in the history of the planet Earth are packaged the exact same way. So we'll get this off of here. Do this in real time. This is the real time channel. So we'll get this off of the base. We're not going to keep the base. We don't keep bases around here. We don't even keep the boxes unless it's some really high end stuff. Then maybe we'll keep that stuff. So, all right. So we got that off the base. We're going to go ahead and take off the rubber band for the front here. This holds on to the hood from getting the hood open. We'll take a pair of scissors. We'll cut the little safety strap that keeps the doors from coming open during shipping. This one has an additional rubber band in the back because the back does open as well. So we'll go ahead and get that rubber band off of there as well. We got all those pieces off of there. We'll set the model down real quick, and then we'll go ahead and take out our little cheat sheet thing here. It gives us a little information. Again, just a regular base, nothing fancy with it. Screws everywhere. So we'll get the base out of here. So very interesting that this comes with a tool to open the doors. That must be something that they just couldn't get away from during the manufacturing or designing process of getting this door to open properly without the use of something additional. So there is the tool. Just a little tool there. Nothing fancy to get it open. Just a pretty straightforward piece. There is the little pamphlet right there. So it says to use the little hook side of it to get the door to open up. So taking a look at this here, taking a look at the door right there. Looks pretty straightforward to me. Obviously, I'm a dude, so we're just going to go ahead and open this without the tool. I think basically what they're trying to get at is give you an option to not grab the entire door. But you can do that. Those little clicking you just heard right there, that's just parts moving in there. It's nothing being broken or nothing like that. There is the interior. Let's try to get that to focus a little bit, hopefully. So there is some interior details down in there. Very, very difficult to get that to focus. I do apologize about that. Let's see if I can play with the camera a little bit. There we go. So that looks pretty decent. Let's see if this guy wants to cooperate with us. It's because we have all these pieces up here that it wants to focus on. There we go. There we go. Much better. So apologize about that. There is a lot of print in there. There's a sticker for the dashboard up there for the instrument cluster. There's some color matched body panels down in there. Looks pretty good as well. The other door opens just like this one. You see there is some pretty good detail on the inside of the door. There is your Lambo stance. So they do open up nice and wide and out. You see they curve out quite dramatically, which is pretty good. I do like that. It's a little bit different. Not something that we normally typically get from something like a Lambo. Normally they just go straight up, kind of like a Murcielago. The doors do clear all the body work and stuff back there, so you don't have to worry about that. There is a little bit of detail right there, which has the car name on there, which looks good. There is the brakes and stuff in there. Got some Lamborghini printed on there. Your Lamborghini on the tire itself looks pretty good. They are in black. Front and rear. Speaking of the rear, there is the details in the back, which looks pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of the design of this. It looks like a BMW from the back. It just does. The center mount exhaust kind of makes it look like a pig as well. So it's a little bit weird. It might take a little bit to get that to grow. Now there was a strap that went over the top here, but you can see there's no break in the metal here. So I'm trying to figure out exactly what opens back here. Because it's kind of weird that there was a strap on the top of here. Because if these don't open up, then what is the point? The little winglet sides don't open up like a Murcielago used to. That rubber band was right here. Let me just see if anything moves or... Oop, there we go. All right. There we go. All right. So, I was wondering what moved. It's just that carbon fiber insert in there. There is the carbon fiber look to it. Looks pretty good. It is... it feels pretty fragile, I'm not going to lie, when you first open it up because it's just plastic. But look at the insane amount of detail in there. That is not something that we typically get. I think Maisto is definitely trying to up their game up. It is extremely three-dimensional down in there. It is lacking a lot of printing and stuff, but it does look decent. It does say V12 on there as well. So the like details on there actually looks pretty good. So it's just that inside piece, which is just very, very interesting. Now, I do believe that the little wing piece here, there we go, because I figured that this would be movable just because it looked like it was a separate piece. It's just, oof, man, they're so tight the very first time. So that spoiler there on the back, the little wing part there, it does come up. It's pretty tight. I'm not sure if it goes up any further than that, but it does look pretty good. I actually like it with it extended out. It looks nice. It's painted black underneath there, so they actually took the time to make it look pretty good underneath there. It doesn't look like there's like, you know, exposed unnecessary bodywork or anything in there. It is plastic, so this is not a metal piece. That little winglet part right there is plastic, so just be aware of that. Details on the other side are exactly the same as the other. Nothing fancy with it. Again, the wheels look pretty good. Now, if you take a look at the base here, you see it does say Maisto on there. Made in China. Nothing fancy with the base. Now, since this is a actual Maisto casting, should have suspension, which it does. You got to remember, sometimes when we get these, there's no front suspension, but there is rear suspension. So you get rear suspension, but no front suspension. So just be aware of that. The front suspension is fixed. Barago versions of castings don't have suspension. Some new castings that come out, quote unquote, new castings that come out are actually Barago castings. So some of those don't have suspension, like the I think, what is that? I think it was the e-tron GT, maybe. What might be what I'm thinking of. There is the front end. Does have an opening hood in the front with a little bit of trunk space in there. There's no details or nothing like that in there, but it opens up nice and big and gigantic. Looks pretty good. There is your headlight details, which look pretty good. And then there is the nameplate on the front as well. So this is a pretty good model. Windshield looks pretty good as well. There is a rearview mirror up in the top too, with a little bit of a mirror on it. Again, it does have rear suspension on it, but there is no front suspension. This that you see flexing, that is just the parts itself, but that looks pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with that. It's a very good brand new model. We will more than likely, I can guarantee you, we'll get some exclusive colors of that later this year in Costco mixes and later Sam's Club mixes as well. Now this one is polar opposite. We went from an Italian supercar, brand spanking new supercar 2025, to a back in the day Trans Am Firebird, old school muscle car. This is also a brand spanking new casting for this year. Again, nothing fancy with the boxes or anything like that. This one does have a little bit of a hologram on there for GM. so that you know it is an authentic, real deal. So let's go ahead and get this out of here. I've been can't wait to get this out of here. I've been contemplating just ripping this open, but I wanted to do it on a video, so I figured we'll just crack it open right now. We'll slide out our Pontiac Trans Am, which is pretty big casting, by the way. I will bring the Lambo back in when we get to it, or when we get to finishing this one. We'll do a little comparo. There is the plaque right there. Looks pretty good. This one should have all the moving features and all that good stuff that you'd expect. So pretty excited about that. So let's go ahead and get this off of its plinth. A couple of screws. Ooh. Ooh. Man, I must have put this one on ultra torque. I really torqued these ones down a lot. So that Lamborghini came off relatively easy. This one is pretty stiff. Must have been a completely different piece of machinery that got this one down on there. So we'll get this up there. They've been using these plinths forever. The plinths just have a sticker on it, so anytime they change the car itself, it's just a sticker. So speaking of stickers, there's going to be some stickers to remove on here. We're going to start with this piece in the front, though. That'll cover up the hood. So we're going to take our scissors and we'll cut it from the bottom so we don't scratch the paint or anything. Get that off of there. There's another one right here, which will keep the doors from opening. We'll do the same. Make sure we don't do any of that stuff like that. Get that off of there. Pull that off with the screen real quick. And then in the back, it's going to have a couple of stickers. You can see them on there holding on the trunk. Typically what I do is I'll just try to slowly pull the trunk up until the stickers release. That way you can pull the stickers off. One on each side. Get the scissors out of here. So there we go. Get that closed. All right, so there is our Trans Am. I'm not sure what year this is. I'm going to say somewhere between 78 and 79 is going to be my guess. I'm not a huge expert on that stuff. You do have a Trans Am there on the front. Looks like we have a couple more stickers, obviously, to get the hood open. These ones are going to be a little bit more involved. So this one's actually off to the side, so I'm pretty happy about that one. That one is not off to the side. You don't want to like really dig into there because then it leaves adhesive. So you got to do what you can to just pull the piece off. There we go. All right, didn't realize there was additional ones on there. We're good now. So it does say Trans Am there on the front of the hood. Looks pretty good. A lot of chrome, I'm sorry, a lot of gold bits and details on this one. There is your quad headlight setup. That looks pretty good. The headlights look really good, actually. There is a little bit of a plate detail on there. It says Trans Am. Looks pretty good. Got your Pontiac logo in there. Again, there is that nice Screaming Eagle. I love it. So it's so cool. It's super, super cool. This one is TA 6.6 is what it says underneath the hood. There is the wheels there. Those really nice wire wheels. Wide oval Firestones or Trans Am on the side. Lots of gold pinstriping and stuff on there. There's the Eagle again on the B-pillar, which looks fantastic. Looks really, really, really good. Moving around to the back end, tail lights look fantastic. Says Pontiac on there. Trans Am. Lensed lights, of course, being 1/18 scale. And then this guy does have T-tops. The T-tops are not removable, but they are tinted, which is very, very cool. So at least I'm pretty sure these are not removable. Let's go ahead and open the first door here. The door is the really nice flush mount hinge, so it doesn't have a huge arcing bar from the outside there. See if we can get this to focus a little bit better for us, like we tried to with the Lambo. So there is a sticker for the console up on the top. Does have a little bit of chrome for that Hurst shifter there on the bottom. It looks okay. It looks okay. You can I mean, you could tell looking at this interior that it's Maisto and it's a little bit cheaper quality. Side mirrors on there look pretty good though. All those details look pretty good like that. The T-tops, unfortunately, are not removable, but you could always cut them out of there or something like that if you really wanted to remove them. I do like the fact that they are tinted versus the rest of the window, which is just clear, which looks pretty good. So we'll get our hood open real quick. Oop, which is super, super tight. Try to get these to cooperate with a bit. Here we go. We'll get that hood open. Oop, it is a large piece of metal, so it does not stay open, unfortunately. But there is all that detail in the hood. Again, very, very good details under there. But there is no print or anything like that. But there is a ton of detail under there. If you were a customizer, you could probably paint this up to look fantastic. But it looks really, really good. The only thing that's done up, of course, is the cover for the air cleaner, because it needs to be that way. These don't come with like hood stands or anything. Some of them back in the day used to come with a hood stand, but Maisto hasn't done that for a really long time. So no hood stands for these guys. Moving around to the trunk. See what is in the trunk. If anything, the trunk is empty. No spare tire or anything in there. Just a completely empty trunk. But that one stays open just because it's not as big of a piece of metal. Looks pretty good. So this is a Maisto casting. There is your details on the bottom. 1978. So I'm pretty happy. It was right smack in the middle. This has a little bit of print for the oil pan in light blue. And then just a couple of chrome pieces to run the exhaust back with the quad tipped exhaust on there. Looks pretty good on the base. So this one should have suspension, which it does. Nice suspension in the back. And it should have some suspension in the front, which it does as well. So that one looks pretty good. That is a pretty nice model. I'm actually pretty impressed with this. I've heard some negative comments about this, but this is actually a million times better than I thought it was going to turn out. I mean, that looks so good sitting there. That definitely looks like a much higher brand than Maisto. And they put a lot of time and effort and print into this, and it just looks good. Of course, all your suspension, which is really, really cool. So we'll set this guy kind of on the side right here. We'll bring our Lambo back just to kind of showcase some scales. So these guys are supposed to be scaled to each other. See, that Lambo is relatively big. It's a relatively large model, but they look pretty good. And of course, both of them, the steering wheels turn with the wheels as they go through, and they roll just fine. They look pretty good. So there you go. Couple of brand new 1/18 scales from Maisto, brand new for 2024. Very first releases of both of these. I guarantee you that Costco and Sam's Club will have exclusive colors of each of these in the fall mix when we get closer to Christmas time. I'm hoping on this side, I'm hoping this one comes in like maybe a solid black or white and blue, which would be pretty nice. And then as far as the Lambo goes, I would really like to see this one in kind of a Rosso red. I think that would look fantastic. Or maybe just all blacked out. But anyways, you guys drop a comment. Let me know what colors you want to see those in. Let me know what you think about them 1/18 scales. If you want to know where I got these, I will link the video where I pulled these from Sam's Club just the other day. And you guys can check that out and see if you want to pick them up. So appreciate you. Catch you next time. As always, Level M saying, peace.